stunning evening in Cary, North Carolina. From Wake Med Soccer Park comes a quarterfinal in the soccer tournament. The US women and the Drunken Monkeys meet on the pathway to $1 million. Everything on the line between two of the most exciting sides in the soccer tournament on the women's bracket. As we get a look at that bracket, check out the bottom of your screen. Drunken Monkeys top their group. Despite going 2-1, the US women, the two-time reigning champions, were second in their group. 2-1 record as well, coming off of a tough loss last night against Sportive. We welcome you into our broadcast booth in Cary, North Carolina. I'm Jess Charman alongside Dr. Rose. And Dr. Rose, we talk about momentum, and the US women have a little bump in that momentum.
Last night, the U.S. women dropped 2-1 to Sportive. They actually just eked into the quarterfinals on goal differential, so there's a little bit of a chink in their armor that I think Drunken Monkeys are looking to take advantage of. Last night, Drunken Monkeys were electric, scoring 3 goals on the Speedy Turtles to jump from 3 to 1 and top the bracket.
Well, electric is the name of the game when it comes to the soccer tournament, as we get a look at the rules that encourage that electric atmosphere. A 7 versus 7 format, 18-minute halves, no offsides, no throw-ins, and most importantly, check out that bottom line. Every match ends in target score time. That's after regulation. We're going to go 7 versus 7. We're going to add a goal to the leading score, and it is that amount of goals that wins. Oftentimes we get to next goal wins. US women have enjoyed a little bit of target score time in there 4 times in the soccer tournament. They brought home $2 million so far. Heather O'Reilly and company looking for the three-peat, but it's been a little tougher for them so far this year. As always, games involving the US women and Drunken Monkeys, bringing a huge crowd as Heather O'Reilly and the US women in the white, Drunken Monkeys in the dark. Glad you're joining us wherever you are in the world for the soccer tournament, getting a step closer to $1 million as a giveaway early on. Here comes the run of the Drunken Monkeys and a dragged shot wide. That's a different effort there from Alba Mellado. She'll be disappointed with that chance early on.
Well, Mellado has been electric for this Drunken Monkeys squad. She has scored in every single match in the tournament, and just a tremendous player for the Drunken Monkeys.
As they strike it in! Dream start by the reigning MVP, Bella Devi. She had time to wind up the shot, makes no mistake, and the US women are on cloud 9.
Less than 1 minute of play, and Bella Devi, who had the $1 million goal last year, sorry, she was the MVP last year, buries that with her left into the corner. That actually is going to hit the side netting. A fantastic shot by the young Tar Heel.
And if you had nerves as a US woman fan or a US women player, that is a good way to dust off any of those nerves, Dr. Rose.
Well, we were concerned that the U.S. women were going to lose a couple of players due to national camp. I think they leave after this. But they are coming out. They may have gotten a chink in their armor, but they are not a team to come out slow, as it took 45 seconds for that first goal in the half.
Unbelievable start by the US women. Drunken Monkeys are going to have to bounce back to some adversity, and you can just tell there's a spring in the step of these US women as it's crossed into a dangerous area. Shayla He will calm things down, but it's given away straight away. If you're the Drunken Monkeys right now, what's the next step as you force your way back into this game?
Well, I think one of the things is they've got to be disciplined defensively, and there is a foul against the Drunken Monkeys. As it appears, Brandon Marion is our center official, and they're going to play quickly. The U.S. team is Pearson trying to make something happen, but the U.S. have tremendous veteran players, but really their impact players so often are those young players who give them the legs and can play off of a player like Heather O'Reilly, Allie Long.
It's going to be an amazing experience to play alongside some of your heroes. We're talking World Cup winners with collegiate athletes, a dream come true, and I've had a chance to get to know Heather O'Reilly, and she talks about it being the tired legs of the veterans with the young guns blazing underneath them. Mellado gives it away. Here comes the US woman yet again, driving forwards. A lovely ball into Devi. Can she make it too? Devi, big save away. Rebound is on, and another block. That's Daniela Diaz back on the goal line. A vital block, and the goalkeeper for Drunken Monkeys right now down on the ground.
It's a bit of a kick save that might have just caught her ankle. So we look at it here. Great ball in. It's going to come out wide again. The shot, and then it comes to Kimball, and Kimball tries to bury it, but Drunken Monkey's defense swarms her. This is Devi with the initial strike on her right. That rebounds to AK Alex Kimball. Remember, last night the Drunken Monkeys did have a late match. It was 3-0 versus the Speedy Turtles, but the Speedy Turtles would not go quietly into the night as they went all the way down to, I think, 3v3, so some tired legs by the Drunken Monkeys squad. Drunken Monkeys also has 3 teams here at TST, so some of these women are doing double duty with the mixed squads as well.
And Drunken Monkeys, all 3 teams have reached the knockout stages. It's an impressive feat. They post on their social media. That's a record. Of course, it is the first year of adding mixed into the table. But I think when you look at this Drunken Monkeys organization, they are everything that it means to be part of the soccer tournament, bringing together a lot of players that maybe have been overlooked in their career and giving them a chance to shine on a massive stage.
Exactly. This squad this year, which is really a rebuilding squad, is comprised of a lot of different players that have played with the U.S. women's futsal team, Nicaraguan national team, and it's a good that number 0, Selena Delia Babb, is back up. They've got 2 tremendous goalkeepers. Kaylee Goldstein has also played for them, and she has been really brilliant for the Drunken Monkeys. I think she had to have 11 saves in their second game when they lost to Austin Rise, but she is a young college goalkeeper that has just had her last year at University of Oregon.
As this ball pops forward, it'll be straight into the hands of Selena Delia Babb. Babb, the veteran, 30 years old, has a career at AC Milan. They've gone with the veteran goalkeeper presence over the youngster, but what an asset to have 2 such high-quality goalkeepers as Diaz chips this one in. And speaking of veteran goalkeepers again, then Lindsay Harris with the catch. She bowls it right out to Denigan. Denigan, drop of the shoulder, Denigan parried away by Babb.
And that's what we love to see from the keepers. Can they pick up their head, find a player that's getting forward? As fast as you can be in transition is key to success in the attack sometimes.
Get another look at that save in the small screen. US women took that corner short. It does seem like teams are struggling to utilize their corners in this tournament. It's a tough ask with the short range to the goal. Long played it wide. Has inside opportunities, this time to Denigan. One-time pop into the box, well defended, and a foul is drawn. Referee setting a clear tone of what constitutes a foul right now.
And I think that's something that Brandon Marion, who's kind of a legend of North Carolina soccer, calls a tremendous number of college games in the areas and a signer locally around Greensboro, and he's pretty much a stalwart of North Carolina soccer from the referee side. Got to appreciate what TST does to bring such quality officials here.
We've seen MLS referees receive the best of the bunch, and it isn't a big ask for referees, as Weaving is Wicks, and a corner kick is earned. As I mentioned, lots of different rules for referees to keep up on, and when it gets to target score time, even more complicated with the 15 seconds, making sure they don't pass it back. We've got to give a lot of love to our referees here, and the pressure really heating as we get closer to the $1 million. High arcing corner, and it will end up staying with Nicole Hames. Hames with some nifty footwork drags it straight into the defensive unit of Hopan Munson. Taken shortly. This is kept alive with the Drunken Monkeys, trying to find an angle. Is that a slide tackle? Referee says no. Play allowed to continue. As it's threaded up, and Denigan won't have the legs to get on the end of that.
We mentioned that there was a little bit of a chink maybe in the U.S. armor, but the one thing that they bring day in and day out is mentality. And that is something that is so hard for young teams to have, is just that experience. They've been in World Cups. They've been in the Olympics. They know how to win. They still bring in Colleen Hacker, who is the sports psychologist for the 99ers. She's on their bench with Michelle Akers on their bench.
It's just a whole legend row there on the bench as the US women connecting. Denigan in the box, blocked away by He again. Shayla He is putting in a shift defensively for the Drunken Monkeys.
And she's a player you got to be careful of, because she'll also sneak up that flank sometimes as well and can be dangerous with those services into the box.
Hames inside, trying to turn and keep the ball are the Drunken Monkeys. Mooney threaded down the line. I think good build-up play at times for the Drunken Monkeys, but the US remaining very disciplined. As this cross, high arching, back post, headed up, but still alive on the volley. That's a clean technique there on the volley by Anna Hauer, but just got underneath it.
Hauer's a fantastic player, West Virginia, and she's gonna come out to her and does not hesitate to try and get it. Just couldn't get her head over that as it soars over the goals. It should be noted the goals are only 6.5 feet tall, so it is hard to beat a keeper in the air. We see a tremendous number of goals scored on the ground or deflected off of somebody.
It has been, people want the highlight reel bangers, I completely understand it, but it does seem like the give and go and getting a player open at the back post for the tap-in is the most successful way at TST?
Exactly, it's a ton of movement off of the ball. Can they play it into a target, find somebody running off of it? I will say, despite it being tough to score off of set pieces, the U.S. do have a set piece champion in Casey Noguera-Lloyd, number 27, who's floating up top for them.
And here is Lloyd on the dribble, tried to backheel. It wasn't quite on the same page there with Munson, and Drunken Monkeys looking to punish. It's Wicks. Lovely footwork by Wicks, dragged cross. Heyo gets into a little trouble but recovers well. Heather O'Reilly with the veteran recovery and then almost starting the quick counterattack.
A little bit of that Jersey pride. You're not going to get the ball away from me.
Bit of a chip on the shoulder, we could say.
Most definitely.
As we get another look at that coming together. Hall of Famer Heather O'Reilly.
Bit of a heavy touch there, but wins the tackle.
If in doubt, make up for it. As here come another way forward of the Drunken Monkeys attack. They've been lively since conceding. Almost like that goal woke them up a little. As Cunningham tried to thread it centrally, but easily picked up by the US women. Heather O'Reilly, a change of pace. Heather O'Reilly through, and it's over to this side now. As McCaffrey passes across. Back to Heather O'Reilly. O'Reilly dipping, cutting, weaving, cleared away on a good defensive clearance by Mooney.
Heather O'Reilly was one of the fittest fittest members of the U.S. national team for years. Just a tremendous engine. Kind of playing more as a defender, building out of the back at times for this U.S. squad.
I have a little insider information about the fitness of Heather O'Reilly. Jess McDonald told me that she was sharing fitness videos in the build-up of all of her workouts. Does that surprise you, knowing Heather O'Reilly?
Not at all.
Bab sends it forward. Coach arguing that there needs to be a drive forwards, and it's great to have the coaches mic'd up on the sidelines and hear the perspective from the coaches. They're both very calm in the way that they're speaking. We're going to look at Casey White, former US woman, and Michelle Akers as well. Liado drags it straight into the defense.
Liado's another one of those players that'll lurk in the back and then get forward. She's so technical. Tried to do a bicycle kick in their first game, then actually pulled the ball back, popped it up, and tried to pop it over a defender in the third game. And she's just one of those players that loves to have the ball at her feet. Here's a good look at Lindsay Harris, who has been with this U.S. national team since the first appearance 4 years ago when they played in the men's division, and she is probably one of the best female shot stoppers at this tournament.
I tell you, she was incredible in that men's tournament. The results would have got way out of hand without Harris's point-blank saves. And a lot of people gained a lot of respect, and rightly so, for Lindsay Harris with her performance year one. Diaz plays across. It's patient for the Drunken Monkeys. Haven't been flustered at all by going behind. Osmondson played it into the box. A shot is blocked away. Everyone back behind the ball for the US women.
And I love the run. Mooney's out on this right side, and she's going to start to kind of streak across the front of the box to see if they can't create a number advantage in the corner. And we're seeing a lot of that movement by the Drunken Monkeys settling into their style of play, which is extremely dynamic, tons of movement. Trying to see if they can't work it around and then penetrate off of the dribble or with a nice ball in on the ground.
Looks like they've got a lot of tools in their toolbox with the way they can play. Big switch across, cushion down. Lovely settle as it's laid inside for Miyado. Wow! Pick that one out the back of the net. A stunning strike by Alba Miyado. She cannot stop scoring.
And Miyado's going to actually make this run from the back. She was sitting almost as a center back, comes all the way forward, and just beats the goalkeeper, Lindsay Harris, with a fantastic one-time right-footed strike. Miyado has scored in every single game thus far, and that is her 4th goal of the tournament.
Consistency, the name of the game when it comes to Alba Miyado. Has featured in the Queen's League, which helps with TST, seeing a lot of those skills reminiscent as Devi trying to fight back for the US women. But again, now energized are the Drunken Monkeys. Hauer right down the middle, lays it across. Some nifty footwork in the box by Wicks. It'll fall to Diaz. On June 11th, history will be made. The FIFA World Cup 2026 comes to North America. Catch every match, every moment, live in Spanish, Telemundo and Peacock. Hard to believe the summer of soccer is here. We've all waited for it, and TST feels like the perfect way to kick off the summer of soccer in the World Cup.
Exactly, and tomorrow our men will take on Senegal down in Charlotte. Men were selected last week. They were up in New York for the selection show and then flew immediately down to Atlanta, had their first training the next morning at the new Arthur M. Blank National Training Center, which is magnificent.
Local legend in terms of Charlotte FC players, Tim Ream, the captain for the US men as well. We've got a lot of North Carolina emphasis in this World Cup.
And Patrick Agyemang was probably going to be on that squad had he not been injured.
Poor Patrick Agyemang. What a shame that was to see. Here's the US women. World Cup winners in this squad. Can the US men dream of equalizing that sort of record as here comes the US women again onto that left foot, curling away. It's a lovely effort by Kendall White-Fletcher. Just got underneath it a tad at the end.
And Fletcher just cuts that inside, puts it on her left. Like we said, it's hard sometimes to score up top, but that just barely missed the upper 9. Kendall Fletcher 2 years ago was on crutches here, had torn her ACL and was coaching the team. Used the money that they won from the first year to actually help her have her baby. Last year, coached again, and now this year is back on the pitch for the U.S. women.
Scoring goals, might I add.
Exactly. The TST money comes in used in a variety of ways for this women. I think Joe Lohman built a back porch with her money one year.
I have to think what I would do with my cut of $1 million. Unfortunately, broadcasters not involved in the $1 million prize cup. We might have to have a word about that as it's threaded up into the box, and Drunken Monkeys again reading it well. For the US women with about just over a minute. Then that might pass forwards. Cries of keep swinging it out of the mouth of Casey White, one of the most qualified coaches in terms of a UEFA A license, also certified in the US, and now a broadcaster in Major League Soccer. As it's clipped towards the edge of the box. It's great to see Casey White wearing that bright red hat on the sidelines.
I feel like that's her signature hat at times, right? More often than not, we see her in the bright red hat.
Red is your color, Casey White, if you're back listening to this. And you're welcome for the compliment. As here, the US women trying to find an angle. It's patiently defended by the Drunken Monkeys, who at this point trying to get to the halftime break. Do they have time to create an attack? They'll have a kick in. And a fascinating first 18 minutes of play. US women took the early lead. Drunken Monkeys did not get rattled, did not put their heads down. They've probably had more of the dangerous looks in this first 18 minutes since going behind.
And a bit of this is about the rotation of the U.S. women and have their subbing in with their lines. As we mentioned in TST, most teams are going to try and keep players on the field for 3 or 4 minutes, make sure they have fresh legs. So we saw Bella Devi earlier on more often. We'll probably see her come back in the second half.
Well, a fascinating first half in TST quarterfinal action between the US women. Predictable goal scorers for both sides. Bella Devi got the US women ahead. Alba Mellado equalized for the Drunken Monkeys. The US women and the Drunken Monkeys deadlocked in a 1-1 draw through the first half in the $1 Million Soccer Tournament. We'll be back with halftime stats after this quick break.
The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official. The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management sponsor of TST, and by Soccer.com, an official partner of the soccer tournament.
Welcome back to stunning Cary, North Carolina. The soccer tournament halfway through the quarterfinal between the US women and Drunken Monkeys. Let's take a look at the halftime stats brought to you by RBC Wealth Management. Dr. Rose, what are you seeing here?
Well, the U.S. women dominating, doubling up on shots over the Drunken Monkeys. Bella Devi got on the board early, but then the Drunken Monkeys really settled in and had some more of the play. Nearly equal on corner kicks and saves. I think it's going to be the second half that's going to be the determining factor. Can the U.S. keep the momentum alive? Do they have the legs after a late game last night to really go the distance as they get some pressure from this quality Drunken Monkeys squad?
Massive second half coming up between these two sides, the US women and the Drunken Monkeys. One must go home, one takes a step closer to $1 million. Halftime 1-1, second half right around the corner after this quick break. Think your team has what it takes to compete against Landon Donovan and others for a chance to win $1 million? Find out how to be part of TST 2027 at tst7v7.com. I want to play in TST 2027, Dr. Rose. We're going to get a quick look back at the big moments of this first half between the US women and the Drunken Monkeys. It was an early goal for superstar Bella Devi. What a finish this was.
And Devi with the quick turn and then puts that on her left foot and literally hits the side netting. Unbelievable effort. But then we have Alba Mayada, who comes from the back and just one-times that just out of reach of Lindsay Harris, who is traditionally a phenomenal shot stopper. And so it's equalized coming into this second half.
Massive 18 minutes ahead as we get a look at Via Butchathanraj. And this is a cool story where Via is the daughter of the GM. She takes the kickoffs for Drunken Monkeys, gets her minute to shine. And that's something I don't think we talk enough about when it comes to the soccer tournament. The inspiration to the next generation. We've both been here for the whole weekend. You can see so many kids inspired to get involved in soccer and all of the avenues it can take you in life.
Well, her dad is the ultimate girl dad. Kit, not only, as we mentioned, has the men's team, he has the women's team, he has a mixed team. And then V is actually playing in a tournament, local youth tournament here. And so he just, talking to him before the group stage, he was just so ecstatic.
Oh my gosh! No way! It's another dream start to a half by the US women. Out of nowhere comes an incredible goal for the US women. It's Alex Kimball with a rocket. Took our breath away.
And once again, Bella Devi, quick turn, puts it on her left, launches it, and it actually hit off the crossbar. And Kimball just there, because there are no offside. So Alex Kimball with the goal off of an unbelievable shot by Devi.
Well, Devi with the unbelievable rocket, Kimball with the tap in, but they all count the same. I wonder if they'll have goal line technology to see whether it was crossed as it fell down as the Drunken Monkeys sizzle that one wide. Shayla He with the effort. And Dr. Rose, you've sat on benches, been involved with sides. When you've done a whole team talk and now scrap that, you're back behind, what do the Drunken Monkeys do?
I think one of the things they have to do is stay organized, and they've got to put a body on Devi. She is just unbelievable in her movement across the top of the box. When she gets the ball, she can turn on a dime, and we've seen her be dangerous not once, but twice.
Here's Kimball with a slow dribble. The US women now looking to change the way this second half goes compared to the first. After they scored in the first half, felt like Drunken Monkeys built. Now it's the US trying to build some possession. As Kimball slowly dribbling forwards. Devi, she's feeling it right now as a toe poke away. Reset again. Kimball to Devi. Devi, deadly when turning, instead resets and drops it back. It's a shot from Whitehill, dragged straight into the defenders, and you hear the Drunken Monkeys bench saying, relax, keep the ball.
And I like that Kat Whitehill put that on the ground. The first year they were out, U.S. had some defenders, Ali Krieger and her were launching it from the back line, and the ball's got to be on the ground if it's going to be dangerous.
Free kick awarded to the Drunken Monkeys. I think that's a testament to the advantage that sides coming back have as well. When you've been here before, you kind of get to figure out what works.
Exactly. Every team is better the second year that they're here. And a lot of teams, the evolution from game 1 to game 2 is also tremendous.
Pearson drops it into the back line. It's again turned over, and the US women with some lovely confidence by Kimball. Devi, you can just tell she's a player with so much swagger, so much confidence. She tries things that most players wouldn't dare do.
Last year she was just a senior in high school coming into this tournament, had a terrific freshman year for UNC, but was a little bit of an unknown in a lot of people's eyes. Youth national team player, but the average person may not have known who Bella Devi is, and now everybody knows who she is, and she's got a little bit of maybe a target on her back when it comes to TST play.
Target on the back is the phrase that Heather O'Reilly used, talking about the US women coming in to attempt a three-peat. Only the US women have ever won the women's bracket. This is just the third edition of the women's competition. The US did play in the men's co-edish division in the first year. So we'll look at the bench of the US women, and Casey White attending to a couple of adjustments. There's a almost miscue defensive play. Goalkeeper has to come and swipe that one clear. Bab, and Lindsay Harris will grab it. Easily done by the keeper.
Talked about the fact that the U.S. women have 8 returners, but significant losses from last year. Evie Shores, who was the $1 million goal scorer, who's now with Angel City. Tessa Della Rose, who was the MVP 2 years ago, who's having a fantastic season with Chicago Stars. Olivia Thomas, who, it hurts my heart every time to say her name, because she scored the game winner in the national championship versus Wake Forest when she was at Carolina. She's having a great year at Denver Summit. And then Kate Fossey is with the Dash. So 4 significant losses from last year, and the women still back in the quarterfinals.
She's incredible. I think Heather O'Reilly is the queen of recruiting. And who wouldn't answer the call if Heather O'Reilly asked you to come play for their team?
Just an incredible person and personality. The fact that she played in this tournament and then said, hey, it's only 8 teams, but we're going to get $1 million. And then she helped to recruit. And now it's 16 teams in this women's bracket. She's been with Como in Italy, helping to build them up.
And they've been promoted.
Exactly. She just gives so much of herself and is an incredible ambassador of soccer.
Well-deserved induction into the Hall of Fame earlier this year. As the US women trying to attack down that left-hand flank. Drunken Monkeys again urged to keep the ball. Bab took her eye off of the ball in that moment. The poor giveaway out the back by the Drunken Monkeys. Denigan back. She's double-teamed defensively. Drunken Monkeys still can't keep possession, though. It's a wonderful crowd here at Field 1. US women always drawing a massive crowd. I think the Drunken Monkeys have earned themselves some big fans as well with how they played, as Heather O'Reilly driving forwards as a confident run forward, and O'Reilly does enough to earn the free kick.
I like how she likes to play defensively now more, and then she'll get forward in the attack, but you do not want to mess with her, and you certainly don't want to mess with Carly Lloyd either. Look at that.
It's the game face.
What a terrific shirt. Carly Lloyd, who was here earlier, played in the Home Run Derby, 7 months pregnant. Last year was a force to be reckoned with on the TST field, but expecting her second child in a couple months.
The US scored on the build-up of a free kick last night. Let's see what they can do here as it's sizzled in, blocked away. We'll drop to Heather O'Reilly, check of the shoulder, resets instead. There's almost a poor giveaway off of the boots of Fletcher. Drunken Monkeys coming away. US getting bodies back defensively. There is an open player here for Drunken Monkeys. O'Reilly had to be quick to respond.
And Drunken Monkeys is sort of posting up number 10, Paloma Lazaro, at the top of the 18.
Here is Lazaro off of the flick from Diaz. Lazaro, lovely footwork, thwarting defenders. Lazaro to Diaz, put it a bit behind her. Osmondson inside to Diaz. Daniela Diaz will reset with the goalkeeper Bab. This is better, more patient from the Drunken Monkeys.
And their rotations are really interesting, as now Mulatto is seeing herself as the targeter, Miato. But she's been playing in the back and likes to get forward, so the movement of the Drunken Monkeys is really superb.
Diaz towards that back post, headed clear and away, punched away by Harris. The punch has turned into a lovely assist. Aisku. Aisku played it across. It's a good look of what the Drunken Monkeys can do, as you mentioned. It becomes unpredictable with the different players circling in different areas.
They do a tremendous job of just rotating players, and their movement is really what has given them so much success this tournament and last year.
Diaz, cross in, Lindsay Harris reads it well. Love that she's checking her shoulders because there's a player lurking behind her in Alba Mellado. O'Reilly sends it forward. What a ball by O'Reilly, saved by Bab. A delightful ball from O'Reilly, found Meredith Speck, and Speck didn't quite have the finish.
Just a terrific turn there, right? You can see the skill of these players. And that's O'Reilly. It's coming in, and that was number 26. That's actually Scotty Antonucci, one of the younger players. She won bronze with our U17 team at the World Cup 2 years ago and is on the 17 roster this year as well. Heather just does a fantastic job of bringing in some of those young players. Some of them are coming to Carolina.
Here's an opportunity for the Drunken Monkeys. Brave block away. Really important recovery by Kaylee Herr. As Devi has runners ahead, instead drops it back into her. Her to Devi. You see the last attempt, but Devi's having an attempt of her own right now. Devi onto the left. Blocked away. Wanted a call from the referee. Said hands were tucked in. Marion right there. Good possession, or position rather, from the referee, and the US earn a corner kick.
Kaylee Herr is another terrific story. She's a local kid, played for the Courage, was in youth national teams, went to Carolina. First couple of years was riddled with injury, ended up transferring to Penn State.
As this corner was served in, found an open body, went over the crossbar in the end, but a good effort for the US women from that set piece off of the boots of Whitehill. It's so fascinating as you bring up the backgrounds of these players, Dr. Rose, of how many different avenues of life they come from. As here is the aforementioned Herr. Herr slots it forward. Devi receives. Devi trying to cut onto the left. That's really well defended by Osmondson.
You can see a nice driven ball in, and she does love to just turn and put it on her left, but great defending by the Drunken Monkeys.
Aisku over to Devi again. She feels like she's everywhere on this pitch right now. Herr drops it back. Aisku over to Devi. Devi fighting. Well defended by He. That is quite the task for Shayla He, and now she's coming away with it herself. Good work from the Drunken Monkeys and Shayla He. He, a member of the Canadian futsal team. He's blocked away. Was Miado. Tackle, top of the box. Everybody stopped. Here comes an attack for the US women. Devi doesn't have the legs to get there. It may only be 18-minute halves, but because it's so frantic, you need those quick subs as we get a look at this challenge.
Once again, the U.S., and that's Kat Whitehill, gets stuck in. She had her behind her, and then Shim had recovered back, so a little sea of white, unable to get through were the Drunken Monkeys and Liato.
Such a close game between these two brilliant sides. A reminder, Drunken Monkeys topped their group. US women came second in the group. US women bouncing back right now from defeat last night against Sportive FC.
Not quite the reward that the Drunken Monkeys were hoping for to top their group.
Can you imagine the reaction when you see that? You're like, yes, top of the group, we'll play a number two. US women feels like a bit of a fake imposter of a number two.
Exactly, and the US women were upset last night by Sportive. As we mentioned, it was 2-1, but then they were ahead of Sportive in the goal differential, which is the second tiebreaker here after record.
They were bailed out by the fact that the head-to-head changed. Last year, the US women would have been packing their bags with head-to-head. There's a shot. Sin! Wow! Bellarascu with another rocket. We are being treated to a spectacle of goals this evening.
you see her, she's about 20 yards out and just shoots it. It's going to deflect off of the Drunken Monkeys, and that's why it just careens over the goalkeeper, Selena Delia Babb.
Well, I'm really glad I asked for Belarascu's pronunciation yesterday, because we wanted to get that right with that goal from Belarascu. So she said it's like, ask you a question.
And the
US love those
U.S.
things.
creating a little bit more of a cushion as target score time is looming a few minutes away.
Drunken Monkeys needing to really force a goal before target score time. We've seen massive turnarounds, including a 4-0 turnaround where Wrexham were defeated in target score time last year, with a brilliant turnaround against Old Train, who were sent home Old Train early, didn't make it out the group stages. But it's one of those where you really want it to be closer in target score time, particularly as players get taken off the pitch after 3 minutes. It becomes more difficult for those sorts of comebacks, as the US with Hope and Munson.
Munson is one of 2 players that is getting called into national camp. So she will actually have to depart after this evening, I believe. Both her and Bella Devi.
That's what I'm thinking about right now, but that has to be lurking over the shoulder of Casey White and company. The US men's national team takes on Senegal in the All-State Continental Classical tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time from right down the road in Charlotte. Watch live on TNT and Telemundo or stream on Max and Peacock. Get your tickets now at ussoccer.com/tickets. Bank of America Stadium, a really special venue for soccer now since the beginning of Charlotte FC. It started to get a real crowd in Bank of America Stadium. Expected to be a good audience tomorrow for the US men in their send-off.
This is really where the depth and the mentality of the U.S. roster comes into play. We talk about just how talented and how many young players they have surrounding these veterans, and it's a fantastic mix of young and old here as Mana Shim gets on the ball, who was a hero last year for the U.S. women.
Antonucci with the strike. And Antonucci doesn't miss by too much. We've talked about how good of a player she can be.
Yeah, tremendous young talent at Carolina as well. There are 12 women from the current Carolina roster that are here to play. You can't have more than 5. The U.S. has 5. I believe also Sportive has 5. So it was last night 2 Carolina players that actually scored against the U.S. women for Sportive, as Ashlyn Penny and Caitlin Mara put the goals in against the U.S. women's national team.
You know, that one hurt Heather O'Reilly's soul, the Tar Heel legend.
Well, and one of them was assisted by Riley Kennedy, who is another Carolina player. So it was a bit of a Tar Heel torrid.
Just a testament to how good that program is. Honestly, girls, sometimes I forget my words too, don't worry. As here comes a run forward, Antonucci bodying, going to ground. Still alive and cleared off the line. The angle was getting smaller and smaller. Dorsey! Good grab by Babb. As it's bowled instantly out, it ended up hitting the back of the Drunken Monkeys player, who's jumping through tackles. Lovely individual effort. Laid across, cut back, and a one-time snap strike by Lazaro.
I think that coach really put her body on the line. It's probably the 3rd or 4th time that she's just laid out in front of a shot for this U.S. women's national team.
Well, you've got to put your body on the line when there's $1 million prize money on the line, and the U.S. women have taken a half step forward towards that $1 million, but they've still got to face target score time. It's the U.S. women 3, Drunken Monkeys 1. Target score will be 4. We'll chat you through the rules and bring you target score time next.
The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management sponsor of TST. The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management sponsor of TST.
Welcome back to Cary, North Carolina, and the beautiful Wake Med Soccer Park. The $1 million tournament, as always, ends in target score time. Target score is set. +1 to the leading team. The US women currently leading 3-1. Target score will be 4. First to the target score wins. We'll remove a player every 3 minutes that we fail to reach that target score of 4. And this year, a new implementation. There will be no back passes beyond midfield. You have 15 seconds to cross that halfway line. Once crossed, cannot go backwards or it'll be a turnover in possession. I think you get a look at those jerseys, you know who the hometown favorite is. It's certainly the US women, and right now the US women are in a very good position. But Drunken Monkeys, stranger things have happened. And the righty side one step closer right now to $1 million, but they have to get through the final hurdle in every TST game, and that is target score time. Jess Charman, Dr. Rose as a giveaway, quickly on the ball, and it's dragged wide. And Tanashi had a golden opportunity there to end target score time early.
And once again, the US is so quick in the attack. You see her puts it on her right, cuts it back to her left, and just wide, but they scored 45 seconds into the first half, 45 seconds into the second half, and they were trying to do it within 45 seconds of target score time.
I want to know what they're saying in these breaks on the coaching benches, because Casey White's side seemed to come out of the breaks very rapid.
Well, when you have Michelle Akers on the bench, who is just an unbelievable competitor, you have Saskia Weber from the 99s goalkeeper, you've got Colleen Hacker, you've got Casey White. The coaching staff is unbelievable. Colleen Hacker is truly a favorite sports psychologist, human being of mine, constantly giving back to the game, as so many of this U.S. women's national team players do.
It's passed backwards. Drunken Monkey saying that it had touched and deflected and shouldn't been a change of possession. It is a tough rule to implement as we give Brandon Marion a little bit of grace. It's been a really difficult rule. Completely understand the implementation of the rule, and we want attacking soccer in target score time. But it is tough for referees to police. And there's another moment, and here we go again. I think Ali Long's not used to playing in target score time, maybe.
And the kick actually will take place where the defending team touched the ball. So if it rolls all the way back to the keeper like that, that's where the free kick will be for the Drunken Monkeys. And as we said, if the Drunken Monkeys want to run onto it and get the first touch, it's a live ball.
Really is fascinating to watch as we see a free kick being set up. Lindsay Harris organizing her wall. You've got dangerous players over that ball in Paloma Lazaro and Alba Miado. It'll be a touch to Miado. Miado straight into the body of the wall. Wall did its job. As a turnover, fighting for it is the US women, heading forward and finishing the game!
Alex Kimball, the hero of this match, number 47, former Tar Heel, youth national team player and now hero of the quarterfinals for the U.S.
Alex Kimball calmly does it as she's handed the golden fleece. We'll get another look at this moment. Drunken Monkeys caught in possession. Kimball head down, knows exactly what she's doing. And with all of the weight of the world on her shoulders, Kimball, cool, calm, collected. And the US women booking their ticket into the semi-finals as they take one step closer to the three-peat. Who would count out the US women? And there's a look at Alex Kimball with the golden fleece. She asked if her hair looks okay. It looks great, but the most important thing is that she scored the game-winning goal for the US women.
And once again, the US women just getting goals from a variety of players. You talked about how so many players scored in group stage, and tonight we see it, same thing. If somebody needs to step up, they do, and so the US women punched their ticket into the semifinals with the win over Drunken Monkeys.
And there's a look at our completed semifinals to take place Sunday tomorrow. Iowa Demon Hawks taking on City Soccer FC, and Simply Football FC will meet with the US women. Goodness gracious me, what a quarterfinals it has been from the soccer tournament with $1 million on the line. It is always going to be exciting, but the US women bouncing back in fine form with an emphatic 4-1 victory over the Drunken Monkeys. The opportunity for a three-peat well and truly alive for Heather O'Reilly and Casey Whiteside. Myself, Jess Charman, Dr. Rose and our entire crew, thank you so much for joining us for the soccer tournament. Final score from Cary, North Carolina, US women Drunken Monkeys won. And make sure you're watching TST for the whole rest of your weekend. Have a good one, everyone.